There is a huge food fight going on in America. No doubt you've probably had this same argument in your house. Maybe globally there's the same argument. It's not really about the food itself, it's about the expiration dates. How many times has someone in your house thrown out milk because of the date on the carton? More times than I can think of in my house, which is really frustrating, which is why I want to do this story, because I feel like you want to know. So here's the truth about expiration dates. In reality, none of these expiration dates really are legal tender. They're not really something the government has asked the food manufacturer to put on the product. Actually, there's only one product that the government does require an expiration date, and that is infant formula. No kidding. But that doesn't mean you can't admire and respect what's on the product. You just need to know what the terms mean. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to break it down today. You've no doubt seen sell by, use by, enjoy by, best by, or even best if used by. You'll see a lot of those. I've even heard freeze by, which is kind of cool. A great one because of food waste. Anyway, more on that later. But now we know. So now when we see eggs and it says sell by or milk, that doesn't mean you should throw it out. If it says today's the 5th and your carton says the 4th, it doesn't mean to throw that out. It means that your product actually should have been sold by this date at the store, and if it wasn't, then the grocer should change out the product. It doesn't mean the product is bad. It just means they prefer you to admire their product in these terms: by smell, by taste, by texture, and by appearance. All right, that's what all the food manufacturers are looking for, because they want you to like their product. No kidding. So when you see a sell by, the manufacturer is not talking to you, he's talking to the grocer. When you see use by, that's nice. That means they think they can bet that your product is going to be good pretty much around this date by determining when they produced it, when it was set to ship, and then when it arrived into a store. It still doesn't mean your product is bad if it says use by. It means you need to be careful, obviously. Nobody wants food poisoning, right? But take a look at it. Maybe a smell, maybe a taste. All right, that's probably your best bet there. We can go into all of that, but I wanted to make sure you knew that you did not have to throw these things away. If you are looking at things like fresh produce, if you're looking at things like ground beef, I would pay attention pretty much to those dates, but I would still look. If my lettuce is fresh, if I don't see any slimy, if I don't smell that kind of overripe smell, I might still use my lettuce. My ground beef, I'm for sure gonna make sure I either freeze it or I cook it, okay? That makes sense to me. But here's what's happening in America. Food waste in a huge way. This is probably, again, a global problem as well, but America wastes 30% of the food produced. I'm not blaming it all on the consumer, because that's the retailer as well. The retailer is also concerned that you're going to throw your product away because, oh, today it's the 5th, and maybe it's good until the 4th. Well, they don't want you to think that they're selling food that's bad. So it's really kind of a tough challenge for the grocer. Still, you are smart now. You understand these labels. You know that you can pretty much guess your product is still good. If you bought it at the grocer, you ran home, put it in the refrigerator, you took care of it the way it needed to be taken care of, it's probably okay. But know the difference between a sell by, which isn't pertaining to you, the consumer, and a best if used by. Actually, that term, best if used by or best by, is what the government would prefer these food manufacturers all put on their label, because there is so many terms now. Again, I brought up the one freeze by. I love that one. That would be nice if you saw that on something that you knew you could put in the freezer. You know that you can put in proteins. You can even put in dairy. You can even put in cheese. You do notice, though, when you thaw a cheese, it might be a little bit more crumbly. Milk, the solids will separate, so you'll have to give it a good shake. if it's real dairy. And then eggs you can also freeze if you take them out of the shell. You'd have to put them in a container. So that's just a little food non-waste tip there. But the point is here, we want to stop wasting our food. We want to get the most out of what we have. You also know that when you go to the store, you should not overbuy. My friend Phil Lempert, the supermarket guru, would tell you to look when you're making your list. Go shopping in your refrigerator, go shopping in your freezer, go shopping in your pantry. Look at what you have so you don't overbuy, you don't repeat. You don't have cans stacked up and it's the exact same product. That is your best bet. Food right now is super expensive, right? So why not get what you need and save some money and make sure you don't have to throw things away. So that's my take on this. There is, just in case you don't trust me, a hotline number and an email from the USDA, which I'm going to put on the screen here so that you can contact them if you have any questions, if you don't trust me. But I have done this story a couple times now, more than 3 or 4 times probably in my lifetime. And it was one of those that bothered me because I know my husband is one of those guys that will throw the milk away because of the sell-by date. So don't let that happen to you. Think about the prices of food these days. I think one of these alternative milks is around $6 in my grocery store. I want every ounce, right? So hopefully that helps you. I know it helped me. I'm food and fitness coach Lori Corbin reporting.